Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Today is going to be a really good day. Like I said yesterday, I took the day off from work today just to give myself time to recharge for my week ahead at school. And it's not going to be just like a chill reading day though, because I have loads and loads to do, which I feel like everyone does this time of year. So the whole kitchen table or dining room table is just filled with little piles of things that I need to do, neatly organized, mind you, but they're all out there, like Christmas cards, things I need to organize, things I need to order, just all sorts of stuff. And then yesterday, if you noticed at the beginning, the part that was cheery, I showed you where my books live, but I am not quite done getting organized and getting ready for Santa with my book collection, because I do have those 6 tubs of books that I use as TBR tubs, and I have those all out on the floor of my bedroom right now. I'm looking at them. It's a hot mess. But the reason I got them all out is because I wanted to look through them to find what I'm going to read for the January 90s. Now that's what I call summer readathon that Heather and I are doing. And so now that they're out, now I kind of want to go through them more and figure out I don't know, I think I might just redo my 6 bins, make one January, February, March, April, May, June, and just redo them. Now that I have more books I might want to put in there or whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to organize them. And I have lots of journaling and stuff like that I need to do today, just reflecting on how I want things to go moving forward. And then also, what else was I going to say? Oh, I have a book club meeting for a book tomorrow that I need to finish because I'm in the middle of chapter 1. And it's not just a novel, it's a book for church. And it is a very scholarly sort of book for church. It's very dense, very I don't even know what he's talking about, because he's discussing this one article or book or something that I've never read in my life. And he's kind of talking at us like we know what it is, and I don't. So I either need to Google it or I need to just read on and hope he explains it better. Well, anyway, I am just hoping for kind of a catch-up day today, and just a day where I know that I have no place I need to go. You say hi? You're so cute. So slow progress is being made on all of my things I need to get done today. I just bought Christmas presents for everyone except for my dad. So there's that. And there may have been some extra book shopping just because one of the things I wanted to get for someone was a book. And then I wanted to fill up my book closeouts cart or book outlet. They changed the name years ago and I still can't remember which one. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about something good that happened yesterday. So if you remember, one of my favorite books this entire year, and spoiler alert, it will be on my top 10 of the year, was Personal Effects by Robert A. Jensen. This book really was mind-blowing. It was nonfiction that was super fascinating and allowed me to go into someone's experience that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. But it also changed kind of how I approach life, how I approach my job, how I approach communication with students, everything. So super impactful book. I'm still trying to figure out my ranking of the top 10. And actually, I think I have 11 on my list right now. So one of them has to be cut. Spoiler alert, this one will not be cut. This is definitely probably in the top 5. But I made a video about it a while ago. I will link it below. And I basically just raved about this book because I loved it. Well, somehow the author found that video. Even though I did not list his book title anywhere in the description, the tags, which I need to start doing a better job of so that people can find videos on books. But I don't know how he found it. And anyway, he messaged me and basically said like, hey, let me know if you want a signed copy of the book or a signed book plate. Like, I am so happy to send it to you. I'm glad you loved it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, awesome, great. But then he actually like followed through and sent it. So first of all, I have an amazing note from him, which basically just said that he's really happy that I shared this book with other people. And he also talked about, one of the comments I made in the video was that given his background of being like a police officer and in the military and all this stuff that I might not be accurately quoting, but I had this image in my head of who he was as a person. And then he completely like just tears that apart later by talking about how he's bisexual and just all that sort of stuff. And it just made, even though that was not at all a part of the book, it made him feel so real, so human, and so like fully alive and not a stereotype and anything like that. And he talks about that in his letter, just about how one of his goals is to make sure that people see basically people as people, and that they don't put people into boxes or use labels as much as people often do, including myself. So yeah, totally, that was me. Still is me, but I'm gonna try and work on it. And then he signed it with a note just saying, so glad you enjoyed this book. Glad we have some things in common. My warmest personal regards, Robert. So guys, if you have not read this book, like, I definitely think it is a book to read. I think that it is graphic, so just be ready when you're gonna read it, that you're gonna read some things that are hard to read. But I just found it really inspiring and thought-provoking as far as what, like, initially, just looking at the cover, what do your personal belongings say about you? But digging deeper, like, who are you as a person? What do you stand for? What's important to you? How would you survive an emergency? And like, how can you kind of like narrow or calm down your anxiety so that you are, you know, not just ignoring emergencies or things going on in our world and our community and all that stuff, but that you're prepared so that you can just focus on what you need to focus on and stop this perseverating worry all the time. So yeah, I think that it definitely made me change some of my behaviors, my thoughts, everything, and I loved it. And it just made my day yesterday to get that in the mail, especially after the week I had, which again, I don't want to go into details about on social media, but it was a tough week to be a teacher in schools. I'll just say that. So my next job on my to-do list is to kind of get my bullet journal organized for the year. So I'll just kind of show you what I have so far. So I already showed you the Read Your Shelf spread that I did, and then on the next page I have a sticker, or we'll write later what goes up here, but anyway, I color coded each month, and I already started it in December, even though I probably should have waited until next year. But I will color in a book if I have read it, and then this crossing out with gray just means that I unhauled books that I had not read, but I decided to get rid of them. So that's how I'll keep track throughout the year. Right now, I ended up deciding not to separate this into 2 separate bookshelves. So then it ended up being a lot more squares than I originally had. So right now I have 8 too many, but like, I do have more books coming in because I have the Page One book subscription box is on its way. My Parnassus first edition book club book is on its way. I just got book of the month, so I should probably show you what I got for book of the month. but I already accounted for those ones. So any books that come into the mail, then I am just reducing the 8 too many to however many boxes I have, and then I will add more boxes as needed. This is just kind of like a way to balance what's going in and what's coming out, but not a monthly balance thing like Doris and some other people I know do. This will just be like from time to time I can reference this and just kind of figure out, okay, I started with 337 unread books. Like, is that number decreasing? Which hopefully it will over the course of the year. So yeah, this year, no rules. I'm not doing a year of reading one's own. I'm not doing the read your shelf. I'm not doing anything like that. It's just a desire to try and chip away at this number without being too crazy or setting any rules that feel very limiting for myself. And then as far as my book challenge, I decided that I'm going to do the Read Harder challenge for 2022. So yeah, there's 24 different prompts. The bonus task is to complete all tasks with LGBTQ authors. I think that what I might do is to make this more difficult, I mean, not really, but to stretch myself more would be to do it all with window books. So that could be LGBTQ, but that could also be Black, other people of color, Indigenous sort of people. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And hopefully it'll be good. But then the next page that I wanna do is eventually I would love to read all the Oprah books. So I think I'm gonna do a page for that. And then later, once people start talking about their favorite books of the year, I think I will do, this is really similar to what Sarah from Your True Shelf did last year. I think I will do some sort of a spread where I pick out the books that were the absolute favorites of people who I know and love and trust. There's a lot of people I know and love on BookTube, but not necessarily whose reading tastes and mine correlate in the same way that Sarah from Your True Shelf and I are like spot on, I swear. Even like recently Sarah was talking in one of her videos about how she like doesn't really read fantasy and she was trying to read more fantasy, and like literally that was something that I also was thinking of, and I actually sent an email to the page one book subscription box thing to just say like, hey, I don't read a lot of fantasy. Can you please send me a good fantasy for beginners in the next box? So, and then like, I think I also like, not only did we both want to read more fantasy, but we both posted a video talking about that before either of us saw the other person's video. And it was like almost at the exact same time, like within a day or two. So, well, no, actually hers was a week ahead of mine, but for some reason I missed it in my notification. So it's like we read the same books, we're thinking about the same things at the same time. It's crazy, but there's lots of you who you read some weird books. Looking at you, Bert. I love you to pieces, but we might not have the same book taste.
That I'm excited to read, curious about, and have never read from these authors before.
Good